Hello and welcome to my F1 24 driver career mode, here today for the final episode of the career mode here in Las Vegas, where we have a title decider. There is 25 points between us and the McLaren of Lando Norris. This is the permutations then ahead of the race. Lando has to win with the fastest lap to have a chance at being world champion. If he doesn't, then it doesn't matter where we finish, we will be world champions. If he wins with the fastest lap and we fail to score, he'll be champion by 1 point. If we finish 9th or higher or P10 with the fastest lap, we are world champions for a second time. The odds very much stacked in our favour, but who will come out on top? So we come into the final qualifying session of the career mode. We go through that awkward chicane and we come up to the line. Carlos Sainz is fastest as we get into the final corner, up to the line, we cross it, and that first lap is only going to put us P3, and we've dropped down towards the end of the session all the way down to P7, and we're not improving on this lap, so it's going to be a bit of a shocker qualifying for us. Give us some work to do ahead of tomorrow's race. So this is the grid then ahead of the title decider. Charles Leclerc is on pole and our teammate George Russell is P2. Then it's Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz, Verstappen and Fernando Alonso, Hamilton and we are P8, Ocon and Oscar Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll, Vesti and Pierre Gasly, Ricciardo and Albon, Behrman and Joe, and on the final row of the grid is Fittipaldi in the Red Bull and Sergio Perez. So as the cars make their way to the grid for one final time this season, who is going to be world champion? If it finishes how it starts, then we will be a 2-time champion of the world. The ball is very much in our court. Lando is going to have to get the hammer down today, but let's see for one final time then, who is going to be world champion? We're racing here in Vegas and we've got a fairly decent start. This is Sainz going to the inside. George has got a bad start and he's hit George. He's got damage to his front wing. George has managed to keep it in a straight line. Just Ocon's hit the debris from that front wing and we're down the inside of Ocon now, trying to find a way through, and we found a way through. It's a chaotic start here in Vegas as we head down the first DRS zone. No DRS yet as the side by side in front of us, as we're going to try and go down the inside there of the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso, who is somehow still going at about 90 in this career mode. To the inside, we swap in the dummy and we get the job done on the Aston Martin, our former teammate. And now we're on the back of the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton in his final race in Formula 1. He announced his retirement coming into this weekend, and now we're getting closer and closer to him as he's going for a move on Carlos Sainz, and he's gone right to the inside of Sainz, and we're going to brake later and go right round the outside of both of them. What a move! That is move of the season, but Sainz isn't having any of it, and he's going to come back at us going into the final corner. He's just got his nose ahead. You can see that damage to his front wing, and he has got us back there. But we're going to lunge it back down the inside at turn 1. There's contact, there's a bit of ghosting, but we get past the Aston Martin and we're ahead, and that was a great move. And just up the road is Max Verstappen. Leclerc leads. Lando's got a good start, but he's only P2 as we go down the inside of Max and catch him napping. And up the road next is our teammate George Russell, who's going for a move on Lando Norris. To the inside goes George and he gets ahead, and now we're going to use the slipstream to go down the inside of our title rival Lando Norris. We can't get up the inside of him, we can't keep it round the outside. He's in a Mercedes sandwich here, is Lando Norris, as now we head towards the final corner as George now is pulled away as we're looking to find a way past Lando. He really goes off the inside, so we're going to go right round the outside of him and go up into the podium places, and we are one car that Lando doesn't want to see today. But we are ahead here, as we've taken a lot of carb there, and we've dropped it, and we've spun at the spear section. We've nearly been hit by the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. We've dropped like a stone. It's an error that we very rarely make, and that has spiced up the championship once more. We're out of the points. We've dropped to P13. Lando now, if he can get to the front, is in a world championship position. If we can take the fastest lap, as we come under pressure by the Williams, and he has got us there. But we're going to be extremely late on the brakes here. But look at the speed of that Williams, but he's swapping the dummy. We get the job done down the inside, and it is job done on the Williams then. As now we're hunting down after Pierre Gasly for P12 in this race now. It was looking good in the first couple of laps. It's a mistake that we really didn't need to make, but if we go round the outside of the Alpine, and now we're on the back of Yuki Tsunoda in the RB, as we're going to go late to the inside of Tsunoda, get the job done. Next up the road is Lance Stroll. Now we can continue to get the hammer down here as we look to the inside at the final corner, but we're a bit too far back there to do anything. You can see the McLaren of Piastri. He can do something here to help his teammate as we go to the inside of Lance Stroll. Get the job done, and it's game over for Stroll, and we are through, and we're back up into the points. If we can take the fastest lap, we will be world champion. To the inside, Piastri, can he help his teammate out? He holds it around the outside, he keeps us behind just, but we've got the job done as we drop the back end there. As now this is Fernando Alonso going at Lewis Hamilton. To the inside he goes. Hamilton tries to hold it around the outside. Who's going to get the exit here? As we go round the spear section, such an awkward corner. The Ferrari though is just going to stay ahead. Is he just holds it round the outside, has the inside line. Alonso's not giving up, but eventually he has to, and he is through. And he keeps him behind there. As now we've got interested, and we're in the battle now, all over the back. Can we get the Aston Martin to the inside? We get the job done. Back up into P7. We're only on lap 7. We are flying here in Vegas. We're just ticking them off one by one. And Lando Norris is back, not that far up the road, but we're coming under pressure from Carlos Sainz in the Aston. He's got us back there as he's going for it. Is Fernando Alonso on Lewis Hamilton again, and he's got the job done this time, and there's a lockup. We've got Sainz, and we've taken Lewis Hamilton as well there in the Ferrari, and next up the road is Fernando Alonso. I think Hamilton's coming under pressure by Carlos Sainz to the inside at the final corner. Sainz just gets his nose ahead as he got a full car ahead. Hamilton tries to hold it around the outside. He's now going to have the inside line as he goes into the DRS zone. And Sainz can't hold it around the outside. Hamilton lives to fight another day, but he's still ahead and he's still going for it. Piastri in the background, and finally the Aston Martin has got the job done. And now Hamilton coming under pressure by Piastri, but he couldn't quite get the job done. Could Piastri, but he's gone to the inside late, and he's got the job done there, Piastri. Hamilton can't get the exit. Hamilton's been mugged in the space of about a lap and a half. As look, who is in front of us? We're getting closer and closer to Fernando Alonso, to the inside of Alonso, our former teammate. We get the job done, and by lap 8, we spun around lap 3. We're back up behind the McLaren of Lando Norris. Lap 10 now. We're getting closer and closer as Lando goes for a look at Verstappen, and we're going late to the inside. We couldn't quite get the job done on Lando there. And we're nearly touching the podium again. We've absolutely carved our way through the field here. If we're going to come under pressure though, we really had to back off from Fernando Alonso. Is he going to get us back up the inside? No, he's not. He's going to have to wait. Lando can't find a way past Max Verstappen, but if it ends like this, it doesn't matter. We are world champions as it stands, but there's still a long way to go in this race. As now we head down towards Lando Norris. He's all over the back of Max. He can't find a way through. There's a lock up there. I think that was from Lando. And now we're on the back of Lando. We're getting closer and closer, going down the strip. Sort of stalled out as Lando goes to the inside of Max Verstappen. He tried to go to the outside, but we've boxed him in. Lando gets the job done. We're taking a big bit of curb. We couldn't get up the inside. They're going to be side by side now. Max couldn't get the exit. Lando was through, and now we've got a great exit, and we're going to be side by side going into the pit as there's contact. We've nearly dropped it. We couldn't beat Max going into the pits, but he's going to pit. We're going to pit. We've mistimed it because we were just trying to keep the car out of the barrier. It's been a slow stop though. We've got ahead though of Verstappen in the stops. Our stop was poor. Red Bulls must have been really poor. That move is done on Max now, and now we can hunt down Lando Norris. We'll be in the net P4 once everyone pits. Now though, we're hunting down Lando. It's going to be extremely late on the brakes. To the inside, we're taking a big bit of curb. We've jumped over the curb. Can Lando keep us behind? No, he can't. We are through and past Lando Norris, and you wouldn't know that we spun in the opening couple of laps because we have just ticked them off one by one. The car is unreal, as there is the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso, and he's beating all three of us out. Aston Martin, what a bit of strategy there to get us ahead, to get in the head of all of us, but warm tyres for us three, and we're going to dispatch him fairly quickly. We have the DRS and we get the job done going into the spear section of the track. And up front though, this is the battle for the lead between George and Leclerc, and this was a great battle, and we were slowly catching as Leclerc takes the lead of the Grand Prix. He very nearly won this race back in 2023, and you can see the gap now. We're pulled out on those behind. Max is re-overtaking Lando. Both of them have done as Lando takes Max again there. You can see him in position. So this is George has managed to stick with Leclerc. This is turning into a great little battle. He's going to go to the inside with the DRS at the first DRS sign off the track. Can Leclerc hold it round the outside? He's had a bit of oversteer, and that's going to allow George to get past and get through on the Ferrari of Leclerc. Leclerc though, down the strip, is going to go back to the outside of George. Is he going to take him round the outside through the chicane? He has the inside line. That's going to go back to the outside line, but George has just kept him behind. But now Leclerc's going to have a great run, but he couldn't get the job done. Leclerc though is going to have George back here way before they get to the corner at the end of the strip, and it's job done for Leclerc, as now we are still slowly catching. We're absolutely flying ahead of those behind. The gap's 7 seconds, but it's just 2.5 seconds up the road is George. And by the end of lap 23, we've caught the back of our teammate George Russell, who we were told by Mark had an issue with the engine. That's why he's dropped so far back from Leclerc, and why we've overtaken him there incredibly easy. And now this is Lewis Hamilton in the other Ferrari in his final race in Formula 1. Is slowing down. He wasn't having the best of races compared to his teammates, but Lewis Hamilton, what a career he's had, and it's ended in a retirement here in Vegas. But now, just 2 laps to go. We have caught the back of Charles Leclerc. Did I think we could win this race after the spin? Absolutely not. We're going to go to the outside of Leclerc here. Can we get the job done round the outside? No, we can't. But now we're going to go on to the final lap of the season and of the career mode. And it's just like it was that time in Monaco when we were hunting down Leclerc on the final lap for the win of the Grand Prix. We're going to go to the inside. 1 more lap to go. Can we get our second world title with a win? There's 1 lap to decide it. Can we get the job done? It's been a great career mode and it could end in a great fashion here. We're getting closer and closer to the back of Leclerc. We're going to go to the outside, try and get him round the outside of the spear. Leclerc though covers us off, and now we're running out of opportunities, as now we're going to look to try and get him round the outside, but we couldn't get the job done. And now we've managed to stick with him, and we're incredibly close to him here as we go down the strip. We're going to get Leclerc here, surely. We're getting closer and closer. Where's the DRS line? We've got over it, and the DRS is open, and we've tapped the back of Leclerc. And now we're getting closer and closer to him. We're going to go to the inside, and we're going to take the lead of the Vegas Grand Prix on the final lap of the Grand Prix. We go through the chicane, we come up to the line, and we are going to be a two-time champion of the world and win the Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Oh, you are my hero! You're my hero! You've done it! All of that work has come down to this, and you are the world champion. Great stuff!
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. They've done it then. Victory in the last race of the season, and the championship as well. What a phenomenal end to a terrific Formula One season.
They've won the championship, and now they sign off in style as winning the last race of the season as well. Brilliant stuff by this driver today, and you carry that momentum through to next year as well, of course. So it's for all now to try and stop what they've created.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So that's been then your Las Vegas Grand Prix and the final race of the career mode. What a way to end it. A two-time champion of the world, and we get it with a battle for the win on the very final lap of the race. George, even with that issue, finished P3, Max Verstappen P4, Lando Norris, that McLaren just didn't have it today, finished P5, misses out on the World Championship. We've just been too good for him this season. And then down at the back, sadly, Lewis Hamilton in his final race in Formula 1, it ended in retirement. Daniel Ricciardo then was P19 and the final finisher. So this is how the World Championship finished, with world champions by 41 points over Lando Norris, and Max wasn't too far off taking Lando there either, just finishes 2 points behind him in P3, and Leclerc nearly took him as well. And then George rounds out the top 5, and then down at the back there was 4 drivers that never scored a point, and it was Oliver Behrman who was bottom of the championship. In terms of the constructors, we won the constructors last time out in Portimao, but we finished 77 points ahead of McLaren. They really took the fight to us this year, but we got them in the end. Ferrari finishes P3, Aston Martin P4, bit of a shocker for Red Bull this season, Max very much on his own, Fittipaldi not really at it, is P5, RB finished P6, Alpine P7, Williams P8, and Haas and Sauber never scored a point. So this is all our results then from all the seasons. Of course, we had that win in Monaco in the first season. Second season we won again. In season 3 we came so close to the championship. season 4 took the title. This was this season. We did the double. So this is how our career mode stats end. We were 2-time champion of the world. We got 1 constructors championship. We got 8 pole positions and 28 podiums. But this is it then. I really hope you've enjoyed this career mode on F1 24. We came up through the ranks in Formula 2. We got to Formula 1. We won multiple Grand Prix. We won a race in every single season that we competed in, and we took a couple of world championships in the process as well. Thank you for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you when F1 25 comes out and we do it all again. Goodbye.